What is the worst reviewed video game on Steam? And I'm not talking about mainstream games like Gollum either. No. I'm talking about indie cash grabs, abandoned games, and just straight up scams. In today's video, I want to go down the darkest path of gaming below Metacritic scores. Games that no one even knows about. Thankfully, we have the tools for such a task. To discover something like that, we'll be using SteamDB and filtering everything from best to worst rated games. From this, we'll be given, Jesus Christ, 2,797 pages! Looking through the last pages and skipping over games no longer available, I would be pleasantly surprised with some of the games I found. The two rules I'm giving myself that I'll be given 1 hour per game and no games above $30. With that established, here's what I found. Age of Survival is an open-world survival game similar to Rust. In fact, it actually predated it, coming out on August 25th of 2015. The game was developed by Seattle Tech. And checking out the description of the game, you can see the first red flag of this, seeing that this game costs $19 to buy. And if a game with such a price is labeled with a 6% negative rating, I think ordering cocaine might be a better investment than this one. It also doesn't help that this is the only game the studio made and with reviews such as this. A gorilla made an elephant noise. Awesome, great. Hopping into game, you notice that it just immediately drops you into it, with no guide of any kind or even settings to help you get adjusted to everything. Running literally blind, I decided to explore the world while slamming my keyboards to figure out what does what. I would soon discover I have the psychic ability to completely transmute raw material from organic and inorganic matter in order to craft them into something I need. The only issue is that I don't know what to craft! Usually there's fun in trying to figure that out, like in alpha Minecraft. However, no matter what I did, the only thing I could make were sticks and stones. I tried combining them with each other, but nothing happened. And no matter what I pressed, I could not split the stacks I had to try and see if I need to put it together in a specific order. Giving up and psychically imploding an elk's chest inward, I travel around more, discovering an empty open world, or what seems like random landscapes that never really went anywhere. It was almost as if whoever made this game just kind of put stuff around, like floating ground, floating elks, wolves stuck in creative mode. It all comes together when I look over into a cave and saw what I thought was water. What it actually was a large hole that went into the void of the world. Oh, wait. This wouldn't be much of an issue if you died in the void. I learned that I was actually stuck, so I decided to reset the game and hope that it sent me back to the surface. One issue, it sent me back to where I started. Only that I still continue to fall through the surface. Pushing all the buttons I can, I found out that F2 would restart me, but I fell through the world again. I figured that if I let myself die of dehydration, maybe it will completely start me over again. So I decided to wait. Little did I know that I would learn how slow your hunger and thirst meter goes. You literally die of dehydration in real life before you would in this game. I was literally stuck falling for about 45 minutes before I got to the point of dying in this game. I went to get myself some food for the wait, only to see that I was still falling. To pass the time, I started playing a gacha game during this. God, Krillin. Come on. Yes, let's fucking go! Got to do Super Saiyan 4 Goku. And an Appa. Until the point I was actually losing my mind. In real life and in game. Oh, that's weird. That's trippy. Oh god, they're speaking the ancient tongue to me now. I've gone too deep. I'm going too far now. Is that fire? Where the hell is fire at? Until I finally got to the point where I could die in peace, and use the last of my time with this game to see some more stupid shit. Until this happened. Wait. No! No, there's no fucking way! No! It just restarted! It literally just restarted. No, I knew this would fucking happen! You could not die. Your game just restarts your meters. It doesn't send you back. It doesn't send you anywhere. You just keep going. You do not die. It was at this moment I would learn the feeling of eternal damnation, to be stuck in a loop you could not possibly know of escaping. Not even death can save you. Like a man staring too deep into the abyss, I knew I could no longer play this game, as this game has my character trapped in a hell worse than death. So I uninstall it and refund it. Yeah, I could have just reinstalled and hoped for the best, but after that traumatizing event, I really didn't want to bother with it. This game was more of an engine demo than an actual game. Hell, I would say calling this an early access game is still a lie. This is not even a game. This is just something. It's just a blob. It's just an amalgamation. It's just a humongous that failed to live, to breathe. And through it, I got a deal that I never want to experience again. So on to the next game. Urban War Defense is a military-themed tower defense game made in July 7th of 2017 by the game studio Budgie. Okay? And just like Age of Survival, this is their only game. If you check out the Steam page, you don't really see much of their reviews. That is until you scroll all the way down and see that this game literally has a 1% negative rating. And because I have a problem that never stopped me from a self-lobotomy, I dive headfirst into the unknown depths below. First things first is that this game is very bare. There is no story mode, only putting a coming soon on it. A trick used so you can put that early access tag on it. There is a story from the description, but what it just boils down to is your country's being invaded. Just bomb them! The only game mode that they have is this endless mode, where you can only play up to 4 maps. All 4 are basically the same, a large square that splits up the line of enemies. You only have 3 tower types, and surprisingly one of the unique mechanics of this game is that they can be damaged and destroyed by the enemies. But you could upgrade them to make things easier. I find this kind of surprising as most of these tower defense games tend to have it so that your towers never get destroyed, but instead just bombard the game with a lot more harder and harder enemies. However, I do like it that you have the ability to upgrade your towers, is that there's one itty bitty tiny problem with that, is that there is no indicator that they've been upgraded, no visual effects, and barely any notice in the attack or defense. I literally upgraded one tower 10 times and it barely increased anything, and it still died after 1 round. The strategy for this game is to evenly split up your towers to try and take them out before they can take you out. However, I find it easier to just shove all your towers in the beginning area because of how the map works, and the range of each towers is like 8 gazillion miles. You can literally just like jam 50 towers at the entrance and glass them before they even have a chance to leave. They even give you 2 abilities to help make things easier. One just slows them down and the other shoots an airstrike at the enemy's local schools. There are 3 types of enemies: a truck, a helicopter, and a tank, and fuck the tanks. They have like 10 billion health and they can just randomly one-shot a tower. And you start seeing these guys after like the 3rd round, so every round after that you have to deal with the toughest enemy in the game while also dealing with the other 2. Because of this, the game is kinda hard, but also not at the same time. But I was just playing endless mode for about 30 minutes, realizing there was nothing else to do after this. Getting bored of the game, I decided to try to do something before I head to the next one. I was gonna make the ultimate defensive wall so that no country would ever come near my lands ever again. I would come up with a strategy so autistically impenetrable that even Sun Shun would fear me. I lay every inch of street with missile towers, destroying my enemies with 50 metric tons of missile. A feat that would not only eliminate my enemies, but my country's economy to fund such a thing. But also, my computer, as every round would halt my computer dead in its tracks and risk having a nuclear reaction in the process. A plan so good, the enemy had to cheat just to beat me, as through the chaos and brimstone, these motherfuckers would just instantly kill me. Jesus Christ. Game over. Wait, what just... My enemies knew they could not win and decided that a fat man would be more than enough to defeat a fat man. But after that, I knew I was done with this game. The game is kind of brutal and nothing more than that. Including one of my enemies were taking out my towers in one shot and no way of getting stronger except throwing towers on top of towers and hope that they don't just glitch into the end and kill me. I tried upgrading my towers, but it wasn't much different. But at least I learned a valuable lesson about war. When your land or power feels threatened, nuke them. Jurassic Island Dinosaur Zoo is a dinosaur zoo simulator made in June 11th of 2015 by the studio Frameline Network, with wonderful tags like psychological horror, and hentai. This is Frameline Network's only game, of which I'm starting to see a trend of. Looking through it, this game is spotting a 4% negative rating, with the only positive review reading, "This game was so awesome. I want to kill myself." So yeah, this game is spotting a 0% negative rating. At this point, I'm starting to question how Steam just kind of let these games exist and to make money off of them. Hell, some of these games are part of big sales like the summer Steam sale. But with that food for thought, I once again jump straight into it. Starting the game, I get a singular sound before I am plunged into utter silence. I'm sure there is music, but no matter what I did, or what settings I changed, or even starting the game back up, there is nothing but silence. Already to a great start. Hopping into the game does have a tutorial you can follow, but because I prefer to learn things on my own, I decided to see what happens. And everything terrible happens. I set up a fence and some roads and placed my first dinosaur down. The moment I did, I had to tranquilize him because he immediately busted through the fence looking for water. While I was figuring out how to put him back, I started giving him water, but there was no water in the water, so that didn't help. I was given the option to take out the dino, but trying to down this dino was almost impossible because you have the aim of a drug-induced ape. But luckily, when a dinosaur gets out, you have multiple options to stop them. Gas grenades, whatever this is, and gun. But the gun is so weird to use. I just kept pressing the button onto it while the scope was over the dino until it passed out. I fixed up the fence and put it back in, only to immediately bust out again, running around looking for water. It was so interesting to see water and then die. After being traumatized, I finally followed the provided tutorial to only get stuck at making the fences and roads part, despite me already putting them on. During of which, all my other dinosaurs would escape, so I gassed them, caused one to have a molecular stroke, and ran out of money to pay for the water bill. With no way of figuring out how to start up my part to make some money, I just started over. From here, I just followed the tutorial from the beginning. However, like before, I got stuck at the road and fences part. Fed up at this point, I just put as many fences and roads until it would continue. That never happened, when most of the park was nothing but road. Defeated and exhausted, I just decided to hatch the one egg they gave me, and to see how long I can keep it alive. Watching him run around, I would name him Jeff. I fed him, gave him water, and whatever money I had would go into power and water. Then I wanted to experiment a bit. I egged him to go into the water. I would soon discover that he is the Jesus of dinosaurs. I was excited at this point until I saw that he was hungry. I couldn't place any food down in the water for him to eat. He couldn't get to it. He was stuck in the water. I couldn't grab him. I could not feed him. I just watched Jeff as he struggled in the water trying to get something to eat before he basically drowned and perished. So after being traumatized a second time and developing a form of psychological stress, I gave up a bit early and went to the next game. I will always remember you, Jeff. Mining and Tunneling Simulator is a mining and tunneling simulator. What else is there? This game was made on March 5th of 2014, developed by the studio United Independent Entertainment. And for the first time, this studio actually has more than one game developed under them. In fact, we played one of their games for one of my videos. Checking them out, they are basically just a lot of poorly reviewed simulator games, and the Kick-Ass 2 video game! That game was dog water. Trying this game actually has an options menu, thank God. Also, so far, this is a lot more well-polished than all the other games. Starting a new game, it seems like everything is sectioned off by levels. You progress after playing the previous one. Before we get anywhere, we have to start off with the tutorial level. And because it's a tutorial level, hopefully things don't go too bad. The game is very simple and straightforward. You have 5 trucks and 3 tools used to help God Emperor Elon make another loop tunnel. 1 truck helps with repairs and blowing shit up. 1 helps with eddy fire. 1 picks up rocks and 1 dumps the rocks. Cool, now, why the fuck are these so hard to handle? I get that it's not easy to handle these types of vehicles, but I feel like I can handle an actual loader than whatever the hell they gave me here. Not to mention how boring this game is. Even I found some enjoyment from the previous game, but this one physically hurt to play. Everything is either too floaty or are the densest matter in the universe. And don't get me started about picking up these goddamn rocks. These things are so oddly shaped that trying to pick them up with a loader is harder and slower than actually picking them up yourself. The best method I found to pick up these stupid rocks would be to drive my loader at max speed and crash them into the wall and hope they get in. Or if they do, pray the other rocks you didn't pick up doesn't trip you over and you have to get them again. No joke, I actually spent my entire time with this game just trying to get these rocks. Only for my first attempt at this, the game would crash. And at the second time, I spent 30 minutes to only get 44% of it done. This game is so mind-numbing, I thought I was becoming one with the universe. It doesn't help that this game has no music or anything, because just hearing the hollow ambience of the game would drive anyone insane.
Just let me die! Just let me die! Let me die in peace!
I feel like doing this in real life would be a lot easier. At least your damn truck doesn't phase through rocks or trucks and flips you over when you try to get out. I wholeheartedly believe you can go get a forklift certification faster and easier than trying to play this game. So far, this is the only game that has actually made me angry to play. I now understand how construction workers just come home and drink their sorrows away if this is the shit they had to go through. I'm actually done with this game. I am so happy I put the 1 hour rule because I would have died. God knows what I would have done if I kept playing this one. Just get me to the next game. Oh yes, finally, a game that teaches you how to make one of these scams. This is Game Tycoon 1.5. What happened to Game Tycoon 1? Don't know, as this is literally their first game. Game Tycoon 1.5 is a tycoon game made on February 11th, 2014, developed by Sunlight Games. And I'm not gonna lie, the introduction sound and tutorial got me feeling like I'm about to watch an old Halo 3 tutorial from back in the day. I've never been a fan of these types of games. I've always seemed bored every time I play them, but I know it's very popular, so this one got me dreading a bit, not gonna lie. But for the sake of the video, I'm gonna stop being a bitch-ass crybaby. Starting off, this game gave me whiplash, looking like something from the early 2000s. The style really gives off this cheap, 3D, old-school point-and-click adventure game back in the day, like Leisure Suit Larry when it came out on consoles. I will say this one is one of the most well put together just from the main menu alone, which says a lot when this game is actually older than the ones I've played. But going straight into it, I appropriately named my gaming studio. I head straight into the tutorial level. Now here's where the quality dips, because holy shit, what is this voice acting?
Big box is your inventory. Here you can file for example games and licenses.
I would like to apply for a loan.
No problem. Please tell me what type of loan you would like and the repayment term.
First, you need money from the bank.
This sounds like they just use a text-to-speech for each of the characters. Whoever it did sounds like Baldi's basic voice. However, that doesn't stop me from trying to create the greatest erotic video game in history. Grimace Wars. I followed the tutorial, but at some point I could not follow the dude, and I thought I needed to advertise the product to sell it, only for the game to crash. I try again, and I just start speedrunning through the tutorial. However, if you go too fast, the tutorial can't keep up with you. So when I got to the spot I crashed at, the tutorial dude literally thought I was supposed to hire more broke college students. Trying to help the dude catch up by going back, I accidentally pressed the escape key and just restarted the whole game. Kind of upset at this point, I try again. Thinking I knew what I was supposed to do, I would skip the tutorial. I continued towards where the tutorial crashed on me, of which my uncle would die in the process. Finally getting back to the spot I first crashed at. Here I proceeded to spend all my money on advertisement for my porno game, but I discovered one issue. I didn't know how to sell my fucking game. Losing enough money to hit the negatives, I would just wander around hoping I would find something until I got the prompt that I would game over if I continued to have negative money. Instead of getting the money, I would end this run getting a shit ton of porn, jerk off at the front entrance of the university for 3 months straight before I would get arrested for tax evasion. Running low on my meter for this game, I decided to just follow the damn tutorial, which is what I did for the next run. Finally getting to the spot again, I learned that I did not need to advertise my product, but instead I have to go to this Chinese sweatshop to make my cases and mass produce them. I then got stuck. I was stuck at this part simply because there was no fucking table he was talking about.
Click at the warehouse and you see a table with publishing deals that you can apply to the product.
I learned that you need to get another producer to ship these things, and once that's done, we have effectively made Grimace Wars public. After this, I wanted to speedrun it a bit for my next run. I also learned that I most likely shouldn't be a boss anytime soon. 6 says ill. I don't need that. Get rid of him. I don't care. Do you think I care? Get him out of here. I ain't no having no sick people working here. You work hard. You do my work. That's it. We make money here. Over here wasting my time. Get out of here. Are you getting sick? You're wasting my time and money. Who said that you can take 16 days off of work? This run literally had every artist I got somehow was like sick for 2 weeks. For some reason, every worker, even those that were good at their job, just have the worst workers etiquette. But I would refinish Grimace Wars. In fact, I got glowing reviews, but received a 41%. What the fuck? I sense bias here. How the fuck can you say my game sets a new standard and you only give me a 41%? Not only that, after shipping the game, I wasn't making any money. The damn game told me how to make and ship the game, but not how to make money from it. I would soon crash the game. At this point, I was very close to the 1 hour mark, so after this crash, I would just end my playthrough with this. All in all, I guess I had some fun with this. It's that this game itself is so weird to manage. It's not really well polished, and honestly, the only thing you're really doing is just click on things. And if you want to do it effectively, you just gotta do it fast. It is kind of boring, but I can see why people like these type of games. When the game worked and I started to get the flow of things, I was having some kind of fun. So I can easily imagine a much better tycoon game could actually grab my attention. To basically say that the worst rated game tycoon game ever on Steam was the thing to actually get some kind of interest from me for this type of genre is an achievement I'll give this one. But with that, I have one more game to go over, and one that I saved for last. The game that made me go down this rabbit hole to begin with, and that game would be... So this one is technically cheating, but I've been slightly breaking my rules anyway. But when making this video, the Steam summer sale went on and this game went on sale. But before that, while researching games I wanted to play, I would be stunlocked in my place when I found this game was $100. Shock, I still figured there was something like this on Steam. Gaben doesn't really check everything on Steam. Until the summer sale came up and I found out that not only that this game went on sale, but other games with similar price tags did from different game developers as well. And that they were put in a bundle sale that had 68 others of these games. I was flabbergasted, gobsmacked, whatever funny word you can say about being shocked. At this point, I was curious, and thanks to the sale, I could put this in my video. Star Followlip Star is a base builder zombie survival game that was made on September 15th, 2017, and was developed by Haiti and Followlip Studio. And the big eye-catcher was that this game was priced at $100. In fact, every game that these two worked on is. The premise is that terrorists have zombied, spreading virus across the area, causing an outbreak of zombies. You are tasked to create a base for the survivors and collect items to help achieve that. Cool concept. Now to see if they actually pull that off. They do not. Oh my god. Starting off, I was not expecting this from this game. I guess I guess as to say I was not expecting anything like this before. This is definitely a delightful intro compared to everything else. You know what? An early Christmas gift is not gonna hurt anyone. But seeing that the last update for this game was on Christmas is pretty sad, not gonna lie. Going further in, the game kind of drops you in with a pre-made base with the option to add more. However, the game already just randomly puts stuff around the base and you can't get rid of them, so this option's kind of useless. You also have a very questionable wardrobe. What the fuck? Oh, hold up, no. What are you guys making me into? What is this, height? What the fuck? They made me into a busty goblin. What the fuck? Some thighs, thickum thighs, chest size, body weight. I see they body shamed here. Where are these? Fuck. Oh, I guess that's. Can I just go in naked? I'm gonna go in naked. This game also has like ratings, I guess like a leaderboard, I assume, but it doesn't work. Like no matter how many times I click it, it just doesn't pop open. At this point, you can tell that there are two game modes, PvP and single player. And I'll be straight up, PvP is a lie. You just play the game normally. There is no PvP in this game. If there is, then it's just dead. In fact, I'm pretty sure the online was a stillborn when this game came out. To go straight into the gameplay, you just spawn in the center of the base, which in this case, on top of this rocket. You can move around, shovel a zombie, impale someone with a candy cane bullet, and fill the land with the energy of a small sun with your flare. And I guess you could heal yourself and fuel up vehicles, but that's kind of boring. To be honest though, I have no fucking clue what's going on with this game. You just go around killing zombies. Hell, you can even kill your own men, but nothing really happens. This game is probably the messiest game out of the bunch, and not that it runs the worst. No, like, this game is messy as fuck. Things just seem random. Items show up at random. You're placed in a large square, like, no, legit a large square. Zombies sometimes dogpile a spot and then just disappear. The controls are random. When you get hit, you just spasm. Your aim reticle literally just died of cancer, but you still need to use it. So you have this almost invisible dead corpse of a reticle. I learned that you can use vehicles, so I picked up a helicopter, crashed into a building, got stuck, and had to reset. And by the way, like the previous game, if you press the escape key, it just ends the game straight up. I really wanted to try the tank. There's only like 2 issues. It's like in the middle of your goddamn base, so trying to like navigate through the entire thing is like one big hassle. And for some reason, every 10 seconds, you need to get out of the tank and fuel it up to the max. And after the 3rd time, I just phased through reality and broke the game. Like, this game is literally dirty. Like, mind you, if this sale wasn't here, this game is $100. And they wear it with pride. They really ask you to check out the other $100 games. But that never stopped me to try and find some fun. In the wardrobe, you have 2 outfits. One that gives you a parachute from falls. Kind of useless because fall damage is the same and you basically have infinite healing. However, there's an outfit that decreases how much fuel you will lose when in a vehicle. The rocket I said you spawn on is rideable. What just happened? What happened? Does it have another bomb now? Wait. No. When you run out of fuel in a rocket, you just like crash down and just like nuke whatever area you're at. The only issue is that the only solid object your rocket can like hit is your base and a building. So basically you become an interdimensional kamikaze pilot once you run out of fuel. When I saw this wardrobe, my mind went, how far can I go up? I soon realized that getting this outfit and fueling up a rocket would end up being one of the most fun things in this god-awful game. Let's go! Yeah! 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 I think oh, there it goes. Yeah, let's go! Fuck them up! Fuck up the zombies! Oh! Rocketing myself into another plane of existence would be the only fun I would find in this game. Who needs the Speed Force when you have a rocket fueled by autism? Having some fun with this, seeing when and where I can crash my rocket at. It would soon die down and I decided to plunge the area with light and just threw flares everywhere until I broke the game again. I'm still thinking about how this and 68 other games like this exist. This is one of the reasons I wanted to make this video. I feel like it's my duty to show everyone these games. And the fact that most of these games ask people to pay $100 to just play it. I know we have the very lenient refund system from Steam, but this can't be allowed. I feel some of these should be illegal. The fact that I had to find the fun in these games should not be allowed. And I think that has to do with the fact that I've become numb with these games, that I can even play an hour of them. At least if I did something like play a dead game, some dead games are good. These aren't good. Why did I do this? But those were some of the worst rated games on Steam that I'm very sure most of you didn't know exist. But that bundle of $100 games, that took me for a loop. Despite the psychological damage that no therapy can free me from, going through these games was a very unique experience that I didn't know I would find some joy from. Obviously, don't be as stupid as me. I made this video so no one else has to. And you know, maybe hit that like and subscribe for the ordeal I went through. I do hope all of you enjoyed it as much as I did making it. There are a lot more games like this, and apparently 68 games that cost like $100. That if you guys want me to, I can easily go over in the future. But until then, I do hope all of you stay safe, and to see you for the next video. See ya.